Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah bil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina ashrafil mursalin wa ala alihi wasahbihi amma ba'd. Right? You can hear me now? All once, please, if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
alhamdulillah. Right. Now, last week we began to talk about al-Maʿānī, yes, under al-Balaghah. We have been doing this for quite some time now, alhamdulillah. And from your response, um, there is some light now. Yes, some light is how Balaghah works. Alhamdulillah. Now, some of the topics that we were going to cover, as I mentioned last week before, um, are parts of a sentence, because now you have to look at a sentence from the Balaghah point of view. So the components now are going to have different names, but they will have the same function. Yes, so we'll be doing a major part of today on that issue. Then we will go on. If time permits, we can even begin types of sentences. Yes, and then we look at how the sentences are formed, what we call word order, taqdim and ta'khir, which ones you mention first, which ones you mentioned later, and even elements of when you say something and when you omit something. Yeah, so we have hasb and you have zakara, meaning that you say it. Then there is a special thing that Ustad Hashim touched on, which was ma'rifah and nakira in terms of balagha. Yes, so we'll be looking at that as well. We will talk about restrictions. We will talk about how we join or we part sentences. Yes, sometimes we use and or wa uh, in cases that we don't think it seems significant, but actually there is a meaning to it. Yes, so these are things that we will look at. And then, of course, we look at the length of speech. Yeah, whether you say something spot on or whether you say it in a long way, winded way, yeah, and things like that, or you just say what is sufficient, just right. This is what musawwah is all about, alhamdulillah. Then we will look at miscellaneous rules, and this is where it gets interesting. Yes, this is where it gets interesting, alhamdulillah. Okay, now what are the parts of the sentences that we're going to look at? Okay, we see something called musnadu ilayh, al-musnadu, and al-quyūd. Yes, so what are these? In English, we can say something called subject, predicate, and the constraints. Yes, subject, predicate. That sounds familiar. It looks like mubtada and habar, isn't it? Or maybe subject object, which would be, maybe the doer and the maf'ul bihi. Yeah, so it's beginning to have the same names, but it doesn't seem to look the same at the same time. Yes, so what are we saying here? So let's just look at the parts of a sentence first. Now we have two classes of words. What we call umda. I think umda is, you mean something that is like a pillar, a support. Yeah, something that has to be there. Yeah, basically. And then we have something called faḍla. Faḍla. Yeah. Now, which is not something to be, no, we can't say that it is something that is not important. It is important. That's why it's called faḍla. Yeah, fadilat, something that brings benefit. Yeah, but in what way? Yeah, in what way? Now, the umda are the essential parts of a sentence. Yeah, without these, the sentence would not be complete. Yeah, it won't be a sentence. Let's put it that way. It won't be a sentence. The remaining parts of the sentence are what we call faḍla. Yeah, faḍla or qaydun. This is the singular. Fadlatun is singular. Qaydun is singular. Quyūd is your jama, your plural. Yeah, so what are the essential parts and what are the remaining parts. Now, even though the grammar of a sentence is complete without the faḍla, the remaining parts, the meaning would not be complete. So it has its benefits, its virtues, the faḍla. It's not there for no reason at all. Yeah, it's there for a reason. But in terms of grammar, in terms of the building, in terms of whether the building can stand up, the ʿumda is there. Yeah, but we need the walls, we need the plaster, we need the paint, we need the windows and doors before it becomes a house. Yeah, so that's basically what we are saying here. Now, a sentence must consist of at least two words, otherwise it's just a word. Yeah. So what are we looking here at? The musnad ilayh. This is actually two types of words we're going to say here. Musnad ilayh is the subject. Yeah, this would either be the mubtada or the fa'il, the doer. That's your musnad ilayh. Who's doing the action and what we're talking about. Yeah, because you can't have an action without the doer. Otherwise, how did it happen? Yeah. Musnadun. This would be the fi'il, the actual action, and the habar, what we're saying about the mubtada. Okay, so that's musnad, musnad ilayh. Your point of focus, what we are saying about that point of focus. Right? Hope you understand that part. So these words are classified as ʿumda, at least two words, musnad ilayh and musnadun. So you see, it's not quite what we had in mind, isn't it, when we were looking at it from a grammatical point of view. Yeah, from a grammatical point of view, we would have said for a jumla fi'iliyah, you must have the fi'il fa'il. For jumla ismiyah, you must have mubtada and habar. Yeah, but this is slightly different. So your mind now has to reorientate and your eyes have to see it from a different, through a different point, different lens, let's put it that way. Yeah, so different lens when we do Balaghah. Now, what about the faḍla? Faḍla basically is everything else. Yes, the qaidun or the quyūd, if we say it as a plural. Now, it can be anything. Now, I said just now, the musnad ilayh is the focal point. Yeah. But this was a word that he used, and I have maintained it because we're using his book, so I don't want to change much from his book. Yeah, but faḍla actually is what it's all about. Yeah, it makes, like I said, if it's a house, it will look like a house now. And not just structure. It can be a factory, right? Or it can be a hospital. But if it's a house, we know the looks of a house. Then that structure or that building now, because of this and that, it's a house. If it's a hospital, it would have other things. Yeah, but the basic structure is still there. Yeah. So this is where I guess this is why Ustad calls it the focal point, because it's the thing that makes the sentence different from each other, the meaning different from each other. Otherwise, it would just be two words or a structure. When we can't tell whether it's somewhere to stay, whether it's somewhere to work, or whether it's somewhere you can heal people in. Yeah, so that's the thing. So here we look at the sentence. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا zina. Yeah. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا zina. Do not go near fornication. So why am I making use of this sentence? Now, in this verse, the word zina is maf'ul bihi. It's what we say, a qaidun, faḍla. Yeah, the remaining part of the sentence, not the ʿumda, not the structure. Without this, the sentence لا تقربوا would still be grammatically complete. فعل فاعل. Yes, you all don't go near, don't go near. But it's complete. You have the fi'il and fa'il in terms of grammar. Yeah, we said for a jumla fi'liya, we must have at least fi'il, fa'il. Okay, so that's where we mean it's umda. The umda is there. Yeah. Without, like I said, but the intended meaning would not be conveyed. We don't know. I mean, don't go near what? Yeah. Yes, exactly, Sister Nada. You have to have the sifas, the badals, and things like that. These are all the faḍla. So here I've got this nice little, sorry, I have this ring that says the qaidun, and all of the qaiduns are there. Your maf'ul bihi, your maf'ul mutlaq, your maf'ul lahu. Maf'ul lahu, what question does it answer? Sister Saida, do you know what question does maf'ul lahu answer?
Why?
Why? Yes, exactly. Maf'ul fihi, Sister Momina, what type of question does it
It's
answer?
where and when.
Okay,
مفعول
where?
أول مفعول
Yeah,
فيه.
fihi. Where and
Where
when?
and when.
Yes, because
Time.
remember it is, it's what's the other name for maf'ul fihi? That means envelope.
It's a طرف.
Yes, it's a zarf. Alhamdulillah. Now, maf'ul ma'ah, Sister Amina Rahman, maf'ul ma'ah, what is this about? Do you know?
It's something to do with meaning.
No. Ma'ah is
No.
with, right?
With.
So it's
Okay.
it's someone usually. We do something with someone. Ma'ah. But sometimes
Oh.
it's not someone. It could be something that's done together with something else. Okay? But the meaning here is with. With.
With. Okay.
Along with. Yes.
Along with.
Yeah. Mustasna. Mustasna. Sister Sakina, what's mustasna?
Musnad, I can't remember.
Ah.
Musnad.
Mustasna is the one that you so it's a case of exception. Yeah, it's a case of exception. You notice that most of these are all mansub, yeah, because we're talking about the qaidun, the detail.
Yes.
Yeah. Hal is also mansub. Yes, Sister Nada? And hal can come in what sort of form, Sister Nada? Is it a word? Is it, how does it look
A
like?
noun منصوب with
Mhm.
تنوين.
Okay, and it can be a sentence as well. Yes,
Yes,
we
yes.
saw that. Yes. What sort of sentence though?
فعلية, I think.
Grammatically.
جملة فعلية.
It's more of an ismiyah usually. Yeah, usually more of an ismiyah.
Ismia, is it in a state of condition?
Yes.
Hal.
That is. Oh, who said that? Sorry, Sister Amina, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then there's tamyiz. Yeah, tamyiz and maf'ul bihi sometimes can be interchangeable. Depends on the question you are answering. Tamyiz is more to clarify something. Maf'ul bihi is more of the done to, yeah, the one that's receiving the action in a
Object.
jumla fi'liya. Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's the object. So tamyiz is more like a clarifier, but sometimes the object clarifies. So that's where there's this overlap.
Also,
Yeah.
of the numbers, we have tamyiz, right?
Yes, it clarifies the numbers. It's about a number, but it can also be about the action. It can also be about the subject. Yeah. So we need to look at it from case to case. Sometimes it's just clear cut. Why? Because you already have a maf'ul bihi And then you have something else that's mansub. What's this? No, is it a maf'ul bihi sani or is it a tamyiz? Yeah, we will see an example of this, inshallah. Oh, sorry. Then we have something called the nawasih. The nawasih is basically something that abrogates. Yeah, so it takes something and changes it. So half nasab is a nawasih or nawasih. Why? Because when it enters a jumla ismiyah, it makes the mubtada
Nasab.
isim inna, and then it takes the habar is habar inna, and it changes the mubtada from rafa to nasab. So that's why we say it abrogates. Yeah, we'll see another example of nawasih in a while. Okay. Then we have shart, we have nafi, things, words that negates, yes, a sentence. So we will see that as well, inshallah. This is basically revision, but I want you to have a look at it from the Balaghah point of view. Yeah, why is it called quyūd from a Balaghah point of view? Yes, inshallah. You said here, Sister Saida, maf'ul bihi can stand alone and tamyiz has to attach. Could you explain, Sister Saida, what you mean by this?
Like, for example, the maf'ul bihi, like it can be one word or ism, but when you have a tamyiz, it has to go back to something, right, for clarification. So there is an attachment, there's a relationship.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say maf'ul bihi stand alone either, because it is the receiver of something.
Like,
Yeah?
for example, if I would say, I gave you little, okay. So, and then we have little of what, so we attach a tamyiz to it because it needs a clarification. But if I say, I
Yes,
gave you
that's right.
a book, so a book is a maf'ul, pure maf'ul bihi, and it doesn't need any attachment. But you can't say, I gave you min something without having qaleel.
Well, the maf'ul bihi, I guess when you say stand alone is
Inshallah,
there's no sense of belonging to something, is it? That one?
inshallah, when we'll do in detail, inshallah, I think I'll be more clear. Inshallah.
Okay, yeah. All right,
And one
inshallah.
thing
Yeah.
more, Father. What about the sifas and badal? Would you consider it as a part of qaid also? Or,
Yes.
sometimes we have jar majroors coming in.
We'll come back. We will go there, yeah? The kaidun. Yeah, because it's the rest of the sentence. You're right, yes. Yeah. Because it has to be muta'alliq to something, right? When it is jawa majrur. So it does clarify. But you see, you have to be careful that sometimes the muta'alliq represents something in place of something that is an ʻumda. So we need to be careful as well. Yeah? It might not be a faḍla. Okay. So let's look at the simple ones first. Right? Let's look at before we go into the more deeper and more complex structures. Simple maf'ul bihi. Let's have a look, just to refresh ourselves so that we don't get confused. So, wala taqrabul fawahisha. Okay, so this is similar to the zina that we're talking about. Fawahish is your immoral act, anything that is wrong. Yeah, so do not come close to what? Fawahisha. So this is mansub, it's single word, maf'ul bihi. Yeah, mufrad. But we can also have a maf'ul bihi that's a sentence. It's a sentence or a phrase. Yeah. مَلَا يُحِلُّ لَهُنَّ أَن يَكْتُمْنَ مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ فِي أَرْحَامِهِنَّ. Yes. It is not permissible. لا يحل. That's not halal. لهن أن يَكْتُمْنَ, for them to conceal. What? What is it that they conceal? مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ, what Allah has created, and in their wombs. Yes? So they cannot say, no, this child doesn't belong to the husband. No, they can't keep it a secret. Yeah, they have to declare it. Yeah, so it's not permissible for them to. So this is maf'ul bihi, but in a form of a sentence. It still answers the question, what? Then we have maf'ul mutlaq. Maf'ul mutlaq is a whole different world. We're just touching it today, okay? Maybe if we were doing grammar, we could go into more detail, but we see how it goes, yeah, as we do our exercises. So this is a simple example of maf'ul mutlaq. Why do I say it's simple? Because the verb and the masdar, you know that maf'ul mutlaq is the masdar, yes? So it's the same root letters. You can have maf'ul mutlaq with the same meaning but different letters. Yes, so we saw this example in your grammar class. I think you must have seen this in your grammar classes, yeah, that you go to. So here it's to remember Allah a lot. Yeah, this is why we use the maf'ul mutlaq here, and it's a clear-cut maf'ul mutlaq. So, O you who have believed, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu zkurullaha zikran kathiran. Kathiran here is just the sifah of your maf'ul mutlaq. Now what's going on here? Fala tamilu kullal mail. Now, what is mailan? Mailan, what is the meaning of mailan? Does anybody know? Sister Siti, do you know, Sister Siti, what is mailan?
Incline towards.
Okay, yes. It's an inclination.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Is
an
it?
inclination.
Is it
Mailan is an inclination.
inclination? Oh.
Yeah, you have an inclination towards something. You have a liking towards something. Yeah. So here, fala tumilu. Yeah, don't incline. If this had been the straightforward maf'ul mutlaq format, yes, I would have said, fala tamilu mailan. Mailan is the masdar. But Allah chose not to use the masdar. What He did was to use kullal maili. The masdar here in disguise has become a mudaf alayh to kulla. And kulla has taken the place of the maf'ul. Yeah, that's why it's nasab. Yes. So why did he do this? He wanted to emphasize something with something like a maf'ul mutlaq. This is what we call naibul maf'ul mutlaq. Yeah, it takes the place of the maf'ul mutlaq. The reason why he has done this, he didn't just want to say that, don't incline. No, don't incline in any way. In this case, it's talking about towards one wife. That means treat your wives, how do you say, equally well. Okay, from something like that. So, but it's not only just that. Don't have this inclination. Don't avoid totally. Yeah, this is why usually maf'ul mutlaq is to emphasize something. So avoid totally being inclined to one particular wife. Okay, but here he's chosen kulla to say even more. He wants to say something like, if I would translate it, something like, do not incline with every inconceivable bit of inclination, right, in any way towards just one wife. So this is how it becomes stronger when you use a nabiul mutlaq. yes, instead of maf'ul mutlaq directly. Na'ibiul maf'ul mutlaq. Subhanallah. Sometimes my mind deletes and omits on its own accord. Yeah. So this is why he did not use mail. Yeah. The translation should have been stronger. Yes, should have been stronger. This is already strong, but because we use kull al-maili, it should be any any form of inclination towards one way. Now, maf'ul lahu, answering the question, the verb is incline. Yep, we saw this. Yep, tamilu, that's the verb.
Tamilu. Okay.
Yes,
What is
tamilu.
the self of this? Is it, what is it? Mala yamilu? Something like that?
You, all.
Is it mala yamilu mailan? Is this the self of it?
You mean the verb, you mean?
Yeah. The basic word, the madi hua is what? Mala?
Mala yamilu.
Yeah, mala yamilu. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Jazakallah khair.
Second person, yeah, tamil. Okay. Now we move to maf'ul lahu. Here, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ خَشْيَةَ إِمْلَاقٍ. Yeah. So here, the reason why you should not kill your children. Yeah. They want to kill their children. Why? Because out of the fear of poverty. Yeah. Imlaq is to be full, right? Have I got that right? Poverty. Imlaq. Yes, Sister Sakina, you have a question?
No, Ustaza.
Oh, your hands was up. Okay. So
Oh, by
Hashata
mistake.
imlaakin. Yeah, fear of poverty. Then we have maf'ul fihi. As Sister Momina said, it answers the question when or where. Yeah. So qala qailun, the one who says or speaks, one of them from them. Yeah, minhum. Come here is the measurement. Yeah, come labistum. قالوا لبسنا. Yeah, how long have you remained here? Labis is to stay. How did you stay? How long did you so they said labisna, we have stayed yawman aw ba'da yawmin. Yeah, a day or part of it. Yeah. So in this case, we are talking about the time. Yeah. Then we go back to maf'ul ma'ahu. Here we were talking, there are two here that I would like to show. Here is quite straightforward. Yeah. فَوَرَبِّكَ لَنَحْشُرَنَّهُمْ وَالشَّيَاطِينَ. Yeah. So by your Lord, Rabbika, yeah, we will surely لَنَحْشُرَنَّهُمْ, gather them together with the devils. وَالشَّيَاطِينَ. Yes, we presume these are the mushriks or the munafiqs. Yeah, they will gather together with the shayateen. I can't quite remember which ayah this is, which surah or context. Here is not from the Quran, I believe. I think this is probably from Hadith, and it's probably, oh, mashallah, did I get this spelling right? Yeah, أقتسل أنا ورسول الله sallallahu alaihi wasallam min ina'in wahidin. Yeah? So I together, this wa is wa ma'ahu, yeah, with Allah's messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam took rusul from the same vessel. So we assume this is Aisha radiallahu anha, yes, who's talking.
Sorry, sister Ustaza.
Yes, Sister Alkana.
مفعول معه. This is first time I'm reading, like I'm learning. Can you, with these two, one ayah and one hadith, can you explain a little bit more, please?
Okay. Maf'ul ma'ahu, yes, is one of the various maf'uls that we have in a jumla fi'liyah. Yes. And as we said, different maf'uls answer different questions. Like we said, maf'ul bihi was who or what. Yeah. Maf'ul lahu was why. Yeah. Or maf'ul ajlihi, sometimes it's called. And then we have maf'ul mutlaq, you know, how was the action done, basically intensely, repeatedly, you know, or clarification of the action. Sometimes that's what maf'ul mutlaq does. And then we went on to maf'ul fihi, where we answered the question of where and when, yes, within what time, within what place, yes, so that's maf'ul fihi. Maf'ul ma'ahu is along whom, along with whom, or along with what. Sometimes the action is done together. And how you differentiate it between this and waw ataf, yes, which is and. Now, sometimes maf'ul ma'ahu is also translated as and. You know, we will surely gather them and the devils. We can also say that, yes. But you have to look at the status. If it is nasab, then all in likelihood, and it's not nasab in front, then you know it is maf'ul ma'ah. That's one clear-cut way of understanding. But sometimes it still can be ma'tuf, because ma'tuf, remember, if this is the mansub, this is also mansub. So there's no, I mean, we can also say we will surely gather them and the devils, right? But this is where I said sometimes there is an overlap, like maf'ul bihi and tamyiz. Sometimes it's quite there is an overlap. There is an overlap, even though tamyiz is to clarify something. Yeah, but we will see this. We will see this in a while. I think I will explain this later. But yes, for ma'fu ma'ahu, if let's say you have a waw, meaning waw ataf, yeah, or is this waw ma'ahu? We don't know. We look at the status. If it doesn't follow what is in front of it, then in all likelihood it is ma'ah, along with the devils. Yeah. So in this case, it can be either, yeah, but it's nicer to think when you do something together, it is ma'ah, because you're doing something that is together. That's why when we say we gather, it's preferable to identify it as ma'ul ma'ahu rather than ma'tuf. Yeah. In
So
this case as well,
the question is, yeah, sorry to interrupt. So in this way, my understanding from you is ataf and ma'ahu. These are two different things.
Yes, they are actually two different things, but they can look like each other depending. Like in this case, they do look as if it's valid. It can be ma'tuf, it can also be maf'ul ma'ah. But if we do an action that is together alongside someone, then it's always better to say ma'ah.
Ma'ahu. Okay.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khair.
Okay, Amin.
The surah, Ustada, for that is Surah Maryam, ayah number 68.
For the shayateen. Okay. In what context was it?
No, you were saying that you don't know which surah it came from. You forgot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I just said.
But do you know the
Yes.
context? Why it was said? Who are they? What was?
Who
do
are
you know?
they? So by your Lord we surely gather them along with the devils. Not sure.
Not sure.
Probably
Okay.
someone disbelievers. Probably disbelievers. I'm not sure.
So I'm thinking of that too. Okay, we'll go back to that. I'll go and have a look at it, inshallah. Okay. Then we have hal. Yeah, so hal can exist in two forms as well, either as a sentence or as a single word. Yes. So la taqrabus salata wa antum sukara. Yeah, so this is actually a jumla ismiyah. They are drunk, right? They are drunk. But we have this wa again. This is waw haliyah. So we have, just now we have waw ataf, we have waw ma'ah, and we now have waw haliyah. Yeah, wa antum sukara. So do not go near salah while you are intoxicated. We won't translate this as an N. Yeah, the meaning is lost if we translate it as N. Do not go near salah and you are intoxicated. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So then we know this jumla ismiyah is being used as a haliyah. We have tamyiz. Yeah. وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي إِلْمًا. It answers the questions what? It answers the question what? Yeah. Increase me, my Lord. Yes. Increase you in what? In knowledge. One would argue, why isn't it a maf'ul bihi? What do you think? Sister Alkans, why do you think this is not a maf'ul bihi? Why is it tamyiz?
وَقُلْ because wow is explaining, it's clarifying what are we like, what are we expecting, and say, oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge.
In knowledge.
It's like explaining, right? It's clarifying.
Okay, so it's not a maf'ul bihi, even though it answers the question what? Yeah. My Lord, increase me
it's
in what?
answering what question, right? What
Yeah.
what we are
Usually maf'ul
asking
bihi
from
will
Allah
answer.
subhanahu wa
Yeah.
ta'ala.
Okay, let's have a look at another one. Okay, that's your explanation. Increase me in knowledge because it's explaining what is it increasing me in. Yeah. But we can also argue back.
So mafulun bihi would work here, right? Or not?
Yes, it can also work here. It can also work. Sister Zaida, you're putting your hands up again? Yes. Question.
Yeah, no question, but just need some clarification. You know, the verb will also identify because Zada takes only one maful bihi. So the cannot be maful bihi. It is, I mean, that's one of the reasons why it cannot be taken.
Okay, yes.
If you will say wakul rabbi zid ilmi, then it will become maful bihi. Right?
Would you say that again? Zid ilm.
We have this
ilmi.
Is already done, right? Ni, the unaware. We already have one maful bihi. We cannot have another maful bihi. First thing is that. And then if we say wakul rabbi zid ilmi, then it will become a maful bihi, right?
Yeah, my knowledge. Yes.
I know.
Increase my knowledge. Yeah, that's how we would have translated it. That would have been a clear-cut maf'ul bihi. Yes, correct. In this case, however, it's allowed for both actually. We can take ilman as the second maf'ul bihi sani, or it can be taken as tamyiz. Yeah, this is something that we can allow for. Now, but here, however, we can't allow for that. Yeah. Now, let me see. Sister Nada, could you read this, please? Could you read the verse?
Yes, inshallah.
Yeah,
Okay.
inshallah.
فلن يقبل من أحدهم مئل 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 الأرض ذهبا.
What does it mean? The
It will
sentence?
not be accepted from anyone. مئل الأرض, a small particle.
No,
A small
mil'u
particle.
is full. Full.
Oh, full as the, yes, I got it now. Gold is full of the earth. I understand it in Arabic, but I don't know how to tell it in English now.
Okay, all right.
Even if they give gold as the whole earth, in the
Okay.
amount of as the whole earth.
Good. So remember someone said tamyiz explains number. Or amount. Quantity. Let's put it. Number is a quantity, right? So tamyiz, one of the key roles of tamyiz is to actually explain quantity. Zat. Yeah. But here lan is a very strong negation. So we would have said never. Yeah, we would have said never. Never yuqbala. Fala yuqbala min ahadihim mil'ul ardi zahaba. In this case, this is tamyiz. Yeah, it is not maf'ul bihi. Even an earth full of gold shall never be accepted from any of them. Min ahadihim. Yeah. So they've done something wrong. They will try to ransom themselves. Even if they ransom the whole earth full of gold, it's not going to be accepted from them. Yes. That is Allah's anger towards them. But here in this case, it is allowed. It can be a maf'ul bihi sani. In this, because we're talking about quantity, we say it's tamyiz. The other thing is, you can, when you look at the action, when you look at the action here is what? What is the fi'il in this sentence here? Acceptance, right? The fi'il is acceptance here. So, if you had a maf'ul for this, yuqbala, yeah, what would you have said in terms of maf'ul? Whatever deeds maybe they have done, isn't it? The maf'ul would be their deeds or their actions or whatever good that they did or they thought they did. It will never be accepted. Or is it? The bride will never be accepted. Any thoughts? فَلَا يُقْبَلْ. The thing is, the tamyiz is extra to make things clearer, right? Usually with quantity. That's why it's associated with numbers. Yeah, tamyiz, when it is majroor, there is a tamyiz that's majroor, it is an idafa form. This is what we see from numbers 3 to 10. Yeah? And then after that, it becomes different. But when it's clarifying something further, can we give another example of tamyiz where it is not number, not a potential second maf'ul bihi, like in this case, yeah, how else can you give me a sentence, any sentence? You can even give it in English, okay? That shows that it is a tamyiz and not a maf'ul bihi.
Uh,
I will
قرأ
let you.
محمد.
Yes, sorry, Sister Nada.
Yes. محمد read a lot of books. كتبا كثيرا. كثيرة. كثيرة. So this كثيرة, it's not a مفعول به. This is تمييز, I think. Or we
Not
can
sifa.
remove the books
Many
of
books, would it not
maybe.
be a sifa?
Okay, can we say in Arabic like we say in English? Muhammadun read a lot, for example. That's it. We don't specify if he reads books or if he reads newspapers. قرأ محمد كثيرا. Can we say like this in Arabic? Maybe we can say in Arabic like this. We have to specify what he read.
Okay, I think your example there about him reading a lot, right? Is it similar to I'm greater in wealth? Is that, remember
Yes.
the man in the garden, who has the two gardens? I'm greater in him in wealth and sorry,
Surah Kahf.
yeah, in greater than him in wealth and men, isn't it? Something like that, men. Subhanallah. I can imagine Sister Amina going through all the Quran, searching for this. Thank you so much.
I'm actually looking at is the student increased in knowledge?
Yes.
Is that something?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. I drank a lot of water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all quantities, right? We're talking about when we talk about that, it's always about quantities, right? So that's where tamyiz is very strong.
Yeah.
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 But this one was an exception. I'll show you where it was that I got it from. All right. Oh dear, we have to go to the surah, isn't it? Can you do a search? Which verse was it? So then I can look it up here. This one about the Rabbi Zidni Ilman. Rabbi Zidni Ilman. Which verse in surah it is? It's in the Quran. I should have written it. Normally, when I give an example, I put the surah and the verse, but I was a bit short of time today. Anyone can find it? Shall I search it? Don't know whether I can. I will have to leave the slideshow in order to search. That's why, if possible, could you find out? Taha 114. Taha 114.
Surah Taha 114. Did you hear me? I don't know.
I saw someone writing in the chat, so I can see
Okay.
that.
So I'm talking to you, but I was on mute.
Okay.
Surah
It says
Taha.
Surah Taha, ayat number 114.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here, that's good. Excellent. So Wakul Rabbi Zidni
Because I can't,
Ilman.
for some reason, I can't write on the chat.
But this was Sister Zaida could write, so that's fine.
Yeah,
So you
I
see
think she has to
here,
put in something.
the ilman can either be maf'ul bihi, sani, or tamiz. It is allowed here. Yeah. So because increase me, usually when we talk about zidni, actually it's one of those verbs that can accept two maf'uls. Yeah. Because normally, yeah. Yeah. So this is allowed. However, when we go to the other ayah, which is Zahban, which ayah was that? Can you do a search for that one, please? If we get cut off, please join in the second link. Yes, Sister Zara, you can leave. Thank you very much. Yes, please do see the recording. Yeah, that's true. The ahsaru malan minka in Surah Kahf. That's the same. That's tamiz. This one about the ardi zahaban, I just wanted to show you. If someone could do a search for me, which surah and which ayah.
Which one,
Ahadihim
Ustad? I'm
lil
lost.
Sorry, you're lost?
You know which surah? Ayah. Which one was it?
Uh, the one that is about this one. This one.
Okay, let me have a look.
Mm. We have another 3 slides to go through. Maybe we'll come back to this later, yes. But this is a definite tamyiz. This one can be both. Yes, this one can be both. We'll go to mustasna. If you find the ayah, just put it in the chat and then we'll come back to it. Mustasna, sorry, wrong spelling here. There should be only one sa. Yeah, it's an exception. Yeah, now exceptions also have their rules. Yes, we have what we call mustasna, and we also have mustasna minhu, the one that we actually, this is what we take out. Yeah, the exception, but we take it out from a group. Yeah, so that's the minhu. Yeah, that's the minhu. So here, illa muttaqin. So close friends would be your minhu, the group that you take the righteous out of. Yeah, so the exception or the mustasna is the righteous. Yeah? Close friends that day will be enemies to each other except for the righteous. So we mention. So that one, this is one case of istisna. When you mention the mustasminhu as well as the mustasna. We have another one. This is a famous one. Yes. وَإِذَا قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا, and they all prostrated, إِلَّا Iblis. So the question was, Iblis was an angel? You know, this was the question. So this is another case of istisna where the one being taken out of the group did not belong to the group in the first place. Yeah, he did not belong to the group in the first place. All but Iblis. This is the opinion of the ulama. Yeah, that Iblis did not belong to the group of angels, but of course he did all that was there. That's why he was present when Allah asked them all to prostrate. Yeah, because he was at that point, until up to that point in time. You know, when you do good, this is what, sometimes when you do good, whether you consciously realize it or not, you feel that, hey, I'm good. You get what I mean? That feeling, I'm good, I'm better than everybody else, because I do this. I pray so many times a day, I fast so many times, so many days in a month. So it's like that bit of arrogance creeps in. That's why we always ask from Allah to keep our deeds ikhlas, sincere. Yeah. So this is why the how do you say, because of his arrogance, how he showed his arrogance, Abba. Yeah. So it was clear, or this is why the scholar says it doesn't mean that he belongs to the group of angels. Yes, It's just that he was present because he was trying to please Allah. But it's come to a point, the sincerity behind it, whether he wants to please Allah because he truly loves Allah or because he wants to show off to Allah that he is great. So these are two different reasons, yeah? The reasons are different. So, but this is still considered istathna, and what follows your hasr, yeah, the adatu hasr is a nasab word. Yes, it's a nasab word. Nawasih, we talked about it, we touched it earlier. We were saying about inna, which is have nasab, but we also have things like asbaha. Yes, asbaha. So the nawasih, asbaha. Asbaha, yes, asbaha can have two meanings. The morning has come. It's becoming morning. Yeah, asbah. That's what we have. But it also can mean just to become. Yeah, just to become. Now, it's nawasi, just like half a nasab. It enters a jumla ismiyah. It changes the mubtada, becomes isim inna. It changes the habar to become a habar inna. Yeah. The nawasi asbaha does the same thing in a jumla ismiyah. So if you can imagine, yeah, you can imagine, this is just saying that the heart of the mother of Musa, yes, the heart of the mother of Musa was restless, is restless. Yeah, it's a simple jumla ismiyah sentence. Yeah, the heart of Musa's mother is restless. But when you bring in asbaha, yeah, the tone is different now. Yeah, the tone is different now. Became restless. Yeah, because she wasn't sure what happened to Musa. She put him into the river. Is he okay? Or not? Will he survive? Yeah. So, but he put the baby. He put baby Musa into the river to save him. But at the same time, now was that the wrong move? But then Allah made her heart firm. Yeah, not to become worried. Yeah, and then finally he actually reunited Musa with her. Yeah, when he made sure that Musa didn't want to breastfeed with anybody else. Yes, and when his sister came, his sister said, "No, uh, um, why don't you ask this lady?" And he actually suggested to the palace, "Why don't you ask this lady to nurse him?" Not knowing and not saying that this is the actual mother of Musa. Yeah. So here Allah said asbaha. Not just a straightforward, the heart of the mother of Musa is restless. It loses that feeling of how do you say urgency. Asbaha became. Yeah. So that's why nawasi is used here. Shurut is another form of quyūd, or one of the quyūds. Yes. So in kuntum fi raibim mimma nazalna ala abdina fa'tu bi suratim min misli. So if what you're saying, if you're okay, fi raibin is doubt. Yeah. If you're in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then bring fa'tu bisuratin min misli, a similar surah to this. Yes, so this is the condition. If you are in doubt, then do this. Yeah, if you're in doubt, then do that. So this is also another form of quyūd. Yeah, you can just say bring a surah similar to this. The sentence is still okay. Yeah, but here there is a reason why you're asking them to bring the surah, because if you're in doubt, then do this. Otherwise, don't. Yeah, don't. Nafi is another one when you have negation in the sentence. Yes, negation in the sentence. So all of these are your faḍla. Yes, you can say that Allah is the greatest ruler of all rulers. But when you add the element of alaysa, is Allah not the greatest ruler of rulers? This question itself has a meaning. It's not a straightforward question. You don't say yes or no to this. This is more like a statement in the form of a question. So this is what ma'ani is all about. The meanings. Remember, it comes from the word ma'ana. Ma'ani is the plural of meaning. Meanings. That's the beauty that we're going to look at as we study ma'ani. Yes, we go in depth, inshallah. So I'll stop here, inshallah, and next week we will go and look at, as what we said, let me see, different types of sentences. Yes, different types of sentences. What we call habar and insha. Yeah? Or in English, declarative and performative. This is to inform something, and this is to ask maybe a doa, question. All this comes under insha. Yeah. So khabar, believe it or not, jumla ismiyah, jumla fi'iliyah is actually declarative. Yeah. It's not under insha. So we will see this inshallah. Okay then. Subhanallah wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa an ashhadu anna astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Take care,
Wa alaikum
ladies.
assalam wa rahmatullahi
Barakallahu
wa barakatuh.
fikunna.
Barakallahu.